Hi guys, welcome back to CJ's Keto Kitchen. Tonight we're going to be making an easy Mexican dish, and it is going to be Keto Taquitos. Try and say that really fast a whole bunch of times. So come along with me and let's get started. Taquitos, or another name for them is flautas, is a Mexican dish, and it's usually flour or corn tortillas, and they're rolled up really tiny. You find them sometimes in the frozen food section, or you can get them at Mexican restaurants. But of course, you know, on this lifestyle, tortillas, even if the low carb ones, can still be fairly carby. So we are going to substitute that with cheese, and it's going to be baked in the oven. But it is simple, and you can use just about any kind of filling that you would like. And so it's going to be a very easy dish for you and your family to enjoy. So come along with me and let's get started. So the first thing that you're going to need to do is you need some baking sheets. It's preferable if you have 2 of them because the recipe is for 12 taquitos. If you don't have 2 cookie sheets, you can, of course, remove them and start over again, but I do have 2. So I have both of my baking sheets with parchment paper on them. I would not recommend making this recipe without parchment paper. It's just the best for removing the cheese because it's going to be melted, and if you try to just put it directly onto your baking sheet, you won't get it off. So you would probably have to throw away your baking sheet. So definitely parchment paper is essential. And you want to make sure that you're getting parchment paper, not wax paper. Wax paper is an entirely different product. So you definitely want parchment paper. And if you want to save money, they do have parchment paper at the dollar store. So the next thing that I have pre-prepared here is my meat. I'm going to be using beef in these taquitos. I have made it with shredded chicken as well. I do find that having a very fine meat helps make the meat spread easier, and it also makes rolling up your taquitos easier. So I have about 1.5 pounds of ground beef here, and I have fully cooked it, and then I put it in my mini food processor to get a very fine ground, almost like a fast food restaurant would have. So I have chopped up 1 spring onion here. These are actually Mexican grilling onions. So they look just like a regular green onion or scallion. In other countries, they're called spring onions. But it had a much larger bulb. But it is just 1 onion, and I have chopped it very finely, and I'm going to add that to my ground beef. So if you wanted to add cilantro or some other thing that you like in your ground meat, you could absolutely do that here. I'm choosing to leave it out this time. I just wanted the onion in here. So that's what our mixture is going to look like. You're going to need to preheat your oven to 400 degrees. That is what we will be baking our cheese taquito shells at. So 400 degrees is what you need. Okay, to our ground beef, I'm going to add a couple of things. The first thing is my homemade taco seasoning. We have a recipe up on our blog for this. It's just made with bulk seasonings, and this is mimicking taco seasoning that you would usually find in an envelope, but it lacks the cornstarch and dextrose that a lot of pre-prepared envelopes have in their taco seasoning. So this is just straight spices. There's no thickeners or binders in here. So I'm going to sprinkle this onto our taquito meat, and I'm going to do it to our taste. When you're doing this for yourself or your family, definitely do it the way that you like your tacos seasoned. I'm going to add a little bit of salt to our meat because there is no salt in my homemade taco seasoning, and we definitely want our meat to be flavorful. And I'm just going to give that a stir. I'm going to add one more ingredient. I'm going to be adding a little bit of enchilada sauce. This is red enchilada sauce. If you don't care for enchilada sauce, you could omit this. You could put some kind of taco sauce or salsa in yours. I just like the flavor that this adds. You definitely have to watch the macros for enchilada sauce. It can be a little more because it's made with a tomato sauce base. I have found one that is under 2 carbs. So definitely watch your serving sizes and your carbs. But I'm going to be adding some of that, and I'm going to be adding about 1/4 cup. And that's just going to add some additional flavor and also help to bind our meat together so that it stays well inside of our taquito shells. Okay, so our ground meat is done, and we are just going to turn off the heat and leave that be while we focus on our taquito shells. So remember, we have our parchment lined baking sheet. I'm going to be making 6 taquito shells on this cookie sheet, and then I have an additional cookie sheet to put in after these are done cooking. So I'm going to make 6 similar sized piles on my parchment paper, about 3.5 to 4 inches. I just have shredded cheese here. Mine is a combination of cheddar, and it also has a little bit of Colby Jack. You can use any kind of cheese that you would like. It needs to be shredded. If you want a super stiff and extremely crispy shell, then you would usually use Parmesan cheese, but that is more for a cracker. So you want a semi-soft cheese. So Colby Jack is fine, Monterey Jack is fine, cheddar. You could use mozzarella if you like, but it does need to be semi-soft. It can't be too hard of a cheese or it will not melt sufficiently. Want to try and keep these fairly even. They are going to run away a little bit. Okay, so we have our 6 piles, and I'm going to put this into our preheated 400-degree oven, and we are going to cook these starting for 10 minutes, and then we will check on them at 10 minutes to see if they are the doneness that we are looking for. Okay, so I let mine go for about 12 minutes, and you can see that they're lightly golden on the edges, and that's just great. And you can see that they spread out. So when it's time to roll them, I will show you how I just cut the edges and get them out. But you want to let these sit. So I'm going to put these on a hot pad, and you want them to sit for about 3 to 4 minutes until they're cool enough to touch so that we can roll them up. It's been about 3 to 4 minutes, and I'm just going to kind of slice the areas that they have grown together because they naturally spread in the oven. And so I'm just going to kind of cut those so that when we take them from the parchment paper, they will come away from each other. And I'm just going to start peeling. And you can see that it makes a nice, beautiful tortilla. So I am going to take a spoon and I'm going to place my meat inside, and I'm going to do it fairly generously. And then we are going to take our shell and we are just going to start rolling it. So there's our cute little taquito. And I'm just going to stack him on the plate and add some more. Hi, CJ.
Hi.
How are you tonight?
I'm good.
Good. We are having some Keto Taquitos. Try and say that really fast.
Okay.
It's basically a rolled taco.
Keto Taquitos.
Yep.
It's good. I do like it better with the beef. Although, so you made chicken the other day. That was good too. They're just both, it's just a different flavor. So chicken was good, so it just depends on what people want to put inside of them. I like the beef better, but I think they're really good. And I bet you this is one of those things that probably get better as it sits as well, so the seasoning and everything can kind of get combined or whatever it does. I think it's good. Looks simple to make. And good job, baby. Thanks for all the hard work.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks for joining us again tonight, you guys. We hope that you enjoy this very easy dish of taquitos. I know that my family definitely does enjoy it. We hope that you will consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell. We would like to have you come back and join us. You're very important to our community. If you would like to hit the notification bell, that definitely helps make sure that you are seeing our content. We also upload on Wednesdays, and on Wednesdays we have ketogenic conversations. That's usually where we get together and talk about different relevant keto topics. Sometimes we have food unboxings. Sometimes we talk about what we're eating. So we definitely would like to have you join us there. Our new recipes go up on Sunday. We are also on social media. We are on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest, and we release photographs there. And also other subscribers and other viewers are putting photographs of the recipes that they have made from our channel there. And it's a very nice way to be a part of the ketogenic community. So definitely check us out there. And that is CJ's Keto Kitchen everywhere. If you need any information for this particular recipe or any other recipe that we have made, that is the full recipe, all the ingredients, the macros, nutritional information, anything you might need. Also, we discuss things that we learned while making this recipe, and CJ also does a taste test follow-up. That is all on our blog, and that is cjsketokitchen.com. So definitely go over there, and there's lots of other ideas. And also the taco seasoning that I discussed in the recipe, that is found there. So we hope that you'll come back and see us again, and until that time, stay well.